Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's Blue Hornet webinar called Best Practices for Coupon Distribution. My name is Susan Tull, and I'm going to be kicking off the presentation here. And it's my sincere pleasure to start by introducing you to your presenter, who also happens to be the newest member of the Blue Hornet executive team, Kara Trivanovic. So for those of you who've kept your ear to the ground in the email marketing industry, Kara is a name that you know well. She's got a long and successful tenure in our space. So welcome, Kara.
Thank you, Susan.
You bet. One more thing that I'll cover off on really quickly. I'll let everybody who's attending the webinar today know that your phones will be muted throughout the course of the webinar. However, you can submit your questions at any point during the presentation. We encourage you to do that. You can just use the chat window in your WebEx user interface. And if we happen to not get to your question during the event, what we'll do is we'll email you a response directly. So I think that takes care of the housekeeping items. So Kara, whenever you're ready.
Wonderful. Thank you, Susan, and thank you all for joining us today. As Susan said, my name is Kara Trivunovic, but I'll give her a couple weeks to figure it out. While I may be the newest... While I may be the newest addition to the Blue Hornet family, as Susan said, I'm no stranger to the email and direct response space. I've been in and around email for the better part of the last 14 years, having done everything from email production and deployment through strategy, and have worked at organizations such as email service providers, agencies, and have even been on the client side. So I have a wealth of experience, and I'm very excited to bring that here to Blue Hornet and serving as the new VP of Strategic Services. We have lots of great information for you today, so if you feel so compelled to tweet any of those little nuggets, we're using hashtag BHCoupon, so feel free to tweet away. And with that, we will go ahead and get started. So today we are really looking to discuss how to effectively leverage coupons in email programs. There's really a number of moving parts to consider when you're looking at implementing or evolving an existing couponing program, and we're going to dive into a lot of these elements today. We're going to look at some definition to make sure that we're all speaking the same language, and then we'll discuss some distribution options and some execution considerations so that when you walk away from this today, you have some really solid information that you can use to apply to existing programs or looking at things that you can do to start new programs. So as you look at the strategic considerations, I think one of the things I find very interesting about the consumer space today is that, we have really, as marketers, we have trained the consumer to expect to receive coupons and discounts from us as marketers via email. And it was one of those things that was really exemplified to me recently when I was at a house party, a housewarming party for a friend. And I was asked that inevitable, what do you do for a living question by this group of women that I didn't know. And as an email marketer, it's always kind of that dreaded question because, you really don't want to have to dive into the explanation of it. And it's funny because I actually found myself explaining to them what I do for a living by coupons and promotions. And I said, for all of the coupons and promotions that you get in email from all of the brands that you do business with, I'm like, that's what I do. I work with those people to help them figure out who to send their offers to and what those offers should look like. And it really kind of turned into this whole conversation with this group of women about how much they love and anticipate and expect these coupons from the brands that they do business with. So much so that it isn't just about getting the discount anymore. They actually use the receipt of those coupons to decide when they're going to buy. And so, as we look at couponing and promotions as a tactic or a method to which we engage with consumers in, it's not just about the fact that we're motivating them to buy, but we have actually gone so far now as to alter the way that they engage with us. And while, my anecdotal stories around, the housewarming parties that I attend, we actually do have some legitimate research to, signify this as well. And so as you look at the real reasons or the number one reason that, consumers actually sign up to receive email programs, it's because they want to receive discounts. And, this has increased year over year, and it is a reason that, the consumer, chooses to give us their email address in the first place. And so, since it is the number one reason, it's imperative that we as marketers really learn to leverage the concept of leveraging coupons effectively. So it's a coupon or not to coupon question, and really looking at the understanding of when and why to leverage coupons is critical in making that happen. So, couponing and discount programs are complicated, or they can be. And as we talk about leveraging it effectively, it's not just about how much to discount or how do you discount or who do you send the discount to, but there are back-end infrastructure considerations and redemption management that can really pose a challenge to a lot of marketers. Coupons, promotions, offers, discounts, these are all the premise of really nearly every email marketing message that is received by a consumer today. And as we look at coupons specifically, there are really multiple ways in which they can be leveraged. Are you looking at online? Are you looking at offline? Is it a scannable QR code? Is it a barcode? Is it single-use, multi-use, viral? I mean, it's endless. It goes on and on. And really, regardless of the intended venue for the redemption, email is really the ideal mode to distribute. And the reason for that is that, in email communications, not only are they highly trackable, so you have this ability to know who received the email, who turned the images on, who, downloaded it potentially or clicked through, but it creates this one-to-one distribution opportunity that is, highly targeted and can be highly relevant for the recipient as well. And so, as you look at the combination of email as a channel or a mode for distribution and the potential of that, that coupon or that discount to the customer, the opportunities really are limitless. So to further exasperate the idea of this being complicated, there are a number of things to consider as you start looking at definitions and conversation that people are having around coupons specifically. So you can have a unique coupon code or you can have a generic coupon code. So if you think of, a unique coupon code, this is something that is, is generated and is one-off and is unique specifically. If you think something more generic, it could be, May 2013 or free shipping today or, something that is a little more wide use and memorable. The other thing you can consider is, multi-use or single use. And as you look at multi-use, you can really start looking at how you want to define multi-use. So is it, are you putting free shipping today out there that anybody and everybody can use as many times as they want today only, or can they use it over a period of time, or can they only use it 5 times, and you want to be able to limit the number of uses. Single use is exactly what it sounds like. It's probably the most sensible of them all. You're using it one time. It is a single-use coupon code that can only be used one time. So as you look at the strategic considerations that you need to take in mind when you're looking at the idea of implementing coupon codes or leveraging within your email communications, you need to ask yourself a series of questions. And the first most important question is, what is your business objective? What is it that you're trying to accomplish by promoting or giving this coupon code to your customer? Are you trying to drive site traffic and online revenue? Are you trying to truly drive foot traffic into the store or generate in-store revenue? And it could be nationwide or geographically driven, or it's possible that you are really trying to do both. But you really have to take this into consideration, because if your goal is to drive online traffic and conversion and you're sending a coupon that's only redeemable in-store, clearly the goals and objectives don't align with what the tactic is that you're leveraging. So that really is the first thing that you need to take into consideration as you move through the strategy of creating these programs. Now, the idea of in-store redemption, once upon a time you would have to, deliver a coupon via email that had a barcode that someone would have to print out and take it into the store. That is still doable and is still possible today. However, the idea of being able to deliver coupons via email that are rendered on a mobile device is something that is, becoming more commonplace, and a number of retailers are starting to do this. And really, as a consumer, you can take your phone in, you can show the coupon code or the coupon to the cashier, and if you have the infrastructure to support this type of conversion, chances are that your customers will really engage in this way. So, as you can see here, according to our 2013 Consumers View of Email Marketing report, 75% of 1,000 respondents, U.S. respondents, agreed that they would either extremely likely or somewhat likely to redeem coupons in this method. So, if this is something that you're looking to do and you have the infrastructure to do it, and you are truly trying to drive in-store traffic, chances are that your consumers will respond well to it. But if you're looking to do online coupon redemption, this really is the most accessible way for marketers to leverage couponing successfully right now. Not only is it simplified from a tracking standpoint, but it removes additional steps and barriers to the consumer to actually make this a very direct response type of communication. And so the experience for the consumer really can be something along the lines of receive an email communication, copy a coupon code, go to the website, and convert, right? And so it makes it so much simpler for the consumer, and it creates a good experience for them. So another element that we really need to take into consideration is what's the purpose of the coupon? Are you rewarding a single customer for a very specific behavior, or are you trying to drive awareness for a new product to the masses? Or it could be something in between. But really, depending on how much exposure you want your coupon code to get, you need to discern whether it's going to be single-use or multi-use, which is something that we talked about earlier on. Multi-use coupons, actually any coupon codes go viral very quickly. Consumers are all about couponing these days and, trying to save as much money as they possibly can. And, there are, communities of people out there who share coupon codes as a way for them to kind of bring back to the community and help everybody save money. And so, one of the challenges that a lot of brands and marketers have today is that these codes go viral very quickly. And a lot of times, they are being leveraged by customers and consumers who aren't likely going to do business with them again. They're only doing business with them for the sole purpose of getting that deal today, and then they'll move on to another brand with a different deal tomorrow. And so, really trying to take these things into consideration and determining, do you want that coupon code to go viral or do you not, is the question that you need to ask in determining, do you want to use single-use or multi-use coupons? So for the purposes of the rest of our conversation and the rest of the presentation, we are going to focus specifically on unique coupon codes that are redeemable online. These are highly targeted, direct response communication opportunities, and they're great promotional opportunities for brands to leverage for their customers. So throughout the course of the relationship with the customer, there are endless opportunities to introduce and provide coupons or promotions to the customer. And as we look forward into 3 tactics for leveraging this, we're going to specifically look at welcome, so at the onset of the relationship with the customer. We're going to look at a couple behaviorally driven opportunities. So what types of behavior are your consumers exhibiting, whether it's in your email communications or on your website, that might trigger this or elicit this response. And then we're going to also look at rewards and awards for your best customers. So let's start at the beginning. When a customer subscribes to your program, it's a time in the relationship where they're highly engaged with the brand and the program itself. And the goal for most any marketer is to drive that first purchase during the first 30 days of the subscription. So, why not try to capitalize on that behavior sooner? So looking at opportunities at the point of welcome where you can send the subscription confirmation, it might be a nice opportunity to include a little unexpected gift for the customer and discount their first purchase. So because this is an unsolicited, a gift or a surprise to the customer, you have endless opportunities here to truly test, what is going to work best if you need to include an offer at all. And so being able to look at those elements of it and determine just how effective it is to provide that type of offer to your customer and determine if it is going to help drive that first purchase and hopefully the second and third. And then you also have the opportunity to really look at, what it is offer-wise that you need to deliver to incent the behavior you're looking for. So here you can see we have an example of how a Blue Hornet client, PacSun, uses unique coupon codes in their welcome email. So in addition to providing a surprise discount to their subscribers, it's important to them that these discounts or rewards are really being leveraged by current and future brand loyalists rather than the bargain hunters that are out there that are scouring the web for codes and sharing them with these communities of people. And so it really is about providing this value to customers that care about the brand itself. So in this example, one of the critical paths or key elements for PacSun was that these were uniquely generated one-time use coupon codes that were being sent to their new subscribers immediately upon sign-up, and that it wasn't able to go viral. And this has been, they have seen a minimization of these codes going viral for them in this program, and that was a key element for, success in this program. Another tactic is to really look at leveraging triggered communications, and it could be behaviorally triggered messages that occur over the life cycle of that customer, and looking at points in time where the behavior can be positively influenced by providing them and leveraging a coupon code. So, for example, you may want to test the application of a single-use, unique, time-sensitive coupon code to incent an abandon cart. So, a customer comes to the site, they enter, they put something in the cart, they disappear for a couple days. Could be a great opportunity to send them a communication that says, hey, you forgot this item in your cart, and oh, by the way, if you buy it today, 15% off. It is important to note that not every abandoned cart situation is the same. So, you don't want to blanketly and blindly apply coupons to drive, abandoned cart conversion. But this is a tactic that has been leveraged by marketers very successfully over the course of time. But abandon isn't the only behavior that can really benefit from a coupon code. So, what about a subscriber or a customer who you might consider is nearly unengaged? Maybe they, haven't purchased in the last 10 months, but they've been engaged with your email communications. So they're opening and clicking, and they're still demonstrating an interest in your brand, but they aren't purchasing for some reason. So maybe you can send them a unique one-time use, time-sensitive coupon code to get them re-engaged and bring them back into the fold. Again, these are things that you test into, but it presents an opportunity to really kind of drive the desired behavior you're looking to elicit. The third tactic is really, the idea of being able to reward or award your valuable customers. So, customers love to feel appreciated, and as marketers, we sometimes forget that they have lots of choices around who they can engage with, and we all have competitors out there that are really, striving to gain the attention of our customers. And so, being able to reward your customers, your best customers, should be something that's unexpected to them and makes them feel appreciated, but it's something that they would consider valuable. So, there are a number of ways that you can actually go about, determining where you can apply a tactic like this. But a couple examples would be, if you have customers who you consider your highly engaged customers, anybody who's made 3 purchases over a 6-month period. And so, maybe you have a group of people that you want to incent to make that third purchase and get them over the hump so that they can now be part of that. And so, offering them a discount on their next purchase is an opportunity to do that. You can also look at, customers who spend over a certain dollar amount and being able to provide them some semblance of, a unique coupon code for, driving their next dollar behavior, or potentially referring friends or others to participate in the programs. Most recently, another very simple way for marketers to leverage this type of tactic is, something I actually just went through very recently, is the idea of birthday messages. So I just celebrated my birthday, and every year being an email marketer, I spend a lot of time waiting to see what email marketers are going to send me for my birthday. And this year, I really didn't get a whole lot of birthday messages, which was kind of surprising. But there was one large retailer that sent me, a great email communication, recognizing me as a valuable customer, and as a birthday wish for me, it was 15% off of any purchase that I make in the next 30 days. So those are really simple, easy ways that you can provide recognition to the customer, make them feel appreciated, and really provide a discount and an opportunity to help them continue to further engage with you as a brand. So now that we've looked at some strategies to apply around coupons, the other thing that you have to consider is the execution of this. So it takes more than just a great strategy to make a promotional coupon program successful. If you fail on execution, the entire program could be in jeopardy. So, while there are a number of moving parts to implementing a successful program, the key consideration in all of this is really ease of use for the customer, and looking at elements of testing so that you can make sure that you have the right plans in place. So as I said, ease of use is really critical. If you imagine, the ability to convert or leverage a coupon code needs to be simple for the customer. Customers are not going to go to any great lengths to memorize or physically write down complex codes. So when you look at how you want your customer to be able to engage, it's best to keep it simple. If you have the ability to dynamically insert a unique coupon code directly into the email communication as HTML copy, so that a recipient can simply copy and paste the code, into the experience when they get to the site. Better yet, if you can support it, if you can append the coupon code dynamically as a parameter in the URL, that'll allow the code to be passed directly to the website. So when the consumer goes to convert, the promotional code is there. So looking at opportunities that you can keep this very simple for the customer as they're engaging with the brand and ultimately trying to take advantage of the code is critical to success. The other thing that you really need to take into consideration, especially these days, is where are they looking at this? So if I have that information on my mobile device and it is in a really small mouse font, and I can't click on it, and I can't select it, and I can't copy it on my mobile device, maybe I disengage. And the ability for me to be able to, leverage that in multiple devices has to be something that we as marketers are taking into consideration very critically. As you can see here, according to a survey, the customers are, if they receive an email that doesn't render appropriately on a mobile device, they're likely going to delete it. And if they're deleting that, then you have lost the opportunity to actually, drive that engagement and provide that value. So, looking at elements of, potentially leveraging elements of responsive design to allow for device detection, would allow you to render the content in a different way that maybe makes it more accessible for use and engagement on a mobile device. In leveraging responsive design, it really is an approach that presents the most ideal situation or the most ideal engagement or user experience for the customer in any given environment. And it also provides you the opportunity to serve the content up a little differently in a way that is more relevant to a customer on the go. So, not only do you have to take into consideration the tactical, effect of how do I get the promotional code or the coupon code from the email to the site so they can convert, but you also really need to take serious consideration around where are they looking at this so that you can make sure the experience is optimal wherever the customer may be. The other elements of this is testing. So, it is a mantra of all email marketers, always be testing. But it applies to every aspect of your program. But it really is critical in determining the most effective coupon value. So, coupons are not going to drive every behavior in the way that you anticipate or hope. And so really spending some time to determine, should I use a % off offer, or should it be a $1 off offer? Should it be one-time use, or should I allow for them to share this with their friends and make it multi-use? You really do need to look at ways that, the coupon is going to drive the behavior you hope for, And then you have to ask yourself the question of, did it increment the behavior? Was it an incremental behavior, or did it just exasperate the inevitable? So a great example of that is, there's a retailer that I bought, two chairs from recently, and I had been planning on buying these chairs for quite some time. But as I'm getting ready to, head out on vacation, I didn't want to order them yet because I didn't want them sitting on my front porch for a week. However, I received a coupon, today only 15% off discount, and I figured what better way to save myself a couple bucks. I might as well go ahead and order them and have them shipped to my neighbor, which is exactly what I did. Now, the question is, was that effective? Because I was going to buy the chairs anyway, and I was going to spend, the extra couple bucks to buy them regardless. But now I've saved myself, $100, and I'm getting them sooner than I had anticipated. So, did it drive the behavior that the brand had hoped for? Probably not, because it didn't drive or incent an incremental purchase. It actually just minimized the revenue that they were getting for, something that I was going to spend anyway. So you have to take these types of things into consideration, and you want to be able to test through them to make sure that you are, in essence, driving the behavior that you want. You want to be able to maintain the highest ROI you can, and you need to just determine how far you need to take those offers in a way that is going to drive the behavior you're looking for and create a new moment. One of the other things that I look at with testing, and this is in general but very specific to coupons, is, make sure that you're always testing one element of a campaign at a time. So, if you're trying to figure out, what the value of the coupon should be, test that for a period of time. And then, you can also look at, once you've determined the best way to approach that, you can look at other elements, timing, frequency, and things like that. The other thing that is always good to do is to hold a control group. This is what's going to let you determine, just how incremental the behavior was over the control group. So those are ways that you can really effectively determine how successful these programs are for you. All right, so let's go ahead and recap. So walking away from the webinar today, you have the opportunity to really examine your existing programs or identify areas of opportunity to introduce new ones. If you aren't doing something like this with birthday messages already, or if you aren't rewarding existing customers, it might be a good time to really start looking at, what kind of strategies could you employ to, introduce these types of programs. If you've already got programs running, re-examine your strategy. Have you set out the hypothesis of what it is you're trying to accomplish and what you expect the results to be, and are you measuring against those results? And make sure that you are, in a situation where your strategy is directly mapping to the goals and objectives of your program. You have to define those goals and objectives and then align the tactics that you want to leverage to, drive those behaviors. And don't forget to assess the ease of use and the conversion for these programs on multiple devices, because if the consumer can't actually use the offer, I don't know if did the offer actually happen. So I want to thank you all for your time today, and I will hand it over to Susan for questions.
Thanks, Kara. So that does bring us to the Q&A portion of today's presentation. Folks on the webinar joining us today, while you take a second to send over any last-minute questions that you might have, I'd like to just let everyone know that Blue Hornet did recently launch our new unique coupon distribution solution, and we're going to be showcasing it at the Internet Retailer Conference and Exhibition that's in Chicago next week. So Kara and I are both going to be there. We'd love for any of you who happen to be on today's call to stop by booth 530. Just say hi to us if you get a chance. And, of course, if you'd like to see a demo of unique coupon distribution, we can certainly set that up for you, too. Okay, so let's take a look at these questions. We're probably not going to be able to get to all of them in the time remaining, but we'll take a look at a couple. So, Kara, the first question is, how are the coupon codes generated and managed?
So, the coupon codes themselves must be generated in your e-com system. So whatever e-commerce system you're using to generate them now, you can continue to leverage to generate them, in conjunction with the unique coupon distribution feature. So, that process doesn't really change much. The ability to continue to manage them and generate them happens there still.
So this one's kind of related, I think, to the point that you just made, and that is, do the coupon codes need to be loaded and managed manually?
They can be. So it's really up to the individual. So there's the ability to upload them directly into the system, and then the system will manage through the inventory of them. So as they're used and inserted in a unique way into an email communication, the system will manage that inventory. But you also have the ability to do a direct API connection as well. So if you wanted to go a little more technical and do an API integration between the Ecom platform and Blue Hornet, that is a possibility as well.
Mm-hmm. Someone here is wondering if there's a way to get any kind of notification if you get low on coupon codes.
Yes, so there are system alerts that are set up inside the inventory management, and it will trigger a notification back to a designated person on the brand side to let them know when that inventory is getting low.
Okay, blazing through these, we got a couple more here. Is there a limit on the number of characters for a unique coupon code? And I know that for Blue Hornet's unique coupon distribution solution, there's a 40-character limit there. Kara, I don't know if you can speak to what you know about other solutions in that regard.
Well, I think 40 characters is more than enough. My recommendation would be to keep it much smaller. From a best practices standpoint, you're going to want to keep it to something reasonable. Clearly, you don't want to have this line of coupon code hanging out across the creative of your email communication. So, the recommendation is really to keep them digestible. If you can keep it at 10 or 15 characters, that's probably a better bet than going the full 40. But it's good to know that there's the flexibility there if you want to.
Exactly. It's about flexibility for sure. So the last question that I will give you to respond to today is less about sort of the technical part and a little bit more about the strategy behind couponing. So this person would like to know if there are any benefits of a coupon going viral.
Absolutely. I mean, again, this is why I was saying, really understanding the strategy. You have to love a strategy person who says it depends, right? Because it it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But, the reality is that, in some situations, and it's going to be very dependent on your brand and very dependent on the offer that's out there. But, there are, coupon codes that go viral that, really do bring attention to a brand that customers the masses might not have been aware of, right? Or a product or a service that they offer. And as a way to get attention, sometimes, providing those unique coupon codes or those viral coupon codes is a critical way to do that. And it is a very grassroots effort. And it is, it's one of the most effective parts of that is that those types of coupon codes typically come from friends, right? They're friends. They are, your Facebook acquaintances. These are, but you're sharing this, and it brings some level of validity to it. And so, maybe if it's a largely unknown brand or a largely unknown product, by providing that stamp of approval from somebody that they know and getting that coupon code, really does bring some attention to a brand that might not have gotten otherwise. And so, at that point it becomes, the responsibility of the marketer to then, take that person who came in through a viral coupon code and then really start looking at ways that you can convert them into a loyal customer. Mm-hmm. And, so not only is it important to get them there in the first place, but to recognize that they came into your organization or into your customer database by this viral coupon, and then really looking at strategies that you can leverage to take them from that one-time conversion in the coupon code and really making them a long-term customer.
So it sounds like what you're talking about there is that if there is a company that wants to take advantage of the virality, you just really have to separate that type of a campaign from a campaign that you'd want to be tying other types of value back to the coupon itself. Because if it's going viral, you really have no way then after the fact to say, okay, this campaign generated this much revenue, this email campaign, because folks could be using a code that they got off of a website or something instead.
Absolutely. But you could totally use that internally to, show your most successful email communication ever.
You didn't hear it from us, folks. Okay, well, thanks again, Kara, and thanks to everyone joining us today. Wanted to remind you all that we will be sending out a copy of this presentation later this week, so look for an email from Blue Hornet with information about that. And then on behalf of Kara and the entire Blue Hornet team, I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and that concludes today's webinar. Thank you.